At this time, I'm going to ask that we take up item number 32, further consideration of an appointment to fill the vacancy on the city council created by the appointment of Mayor Robles. And at this time, I move the appointment of Jawan Hilton to the city council.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Mr. Mayor, for the record, there's no quorum at this time, so business comes to a
Those
halt.
opposed? There's no opposition. At this time, the vote was taken before the quorum was broken, and there was no opposition.
I don't think you can
registered at
ramrod a
this
vote
time.
like that without discussion.
At this time,
It's illegal.
we're going to be in recess until Mr. Jawan Hilton is sworn in. By
State for the record, the mayor is committing an illegal act. There's no quorum.
Order, please.
No, there's no quorum.
Order.
You cannot do it with two council members.
Order,
It's
please.
illegal. I will sue the city again and win again.
Order, please. We
need to
don't
tell
have a quorum
the mayor
present
we can't
at this time, but there was a quorum present when the vote was
That's
taken.
not-
But
Okay,
Mr.
Mr.
Deere,
Mayor,
you're
for
out
the
of order.
record,
Mr. Deere,
there is
you're
no
out of
quorum
order. There is no
tonight.
quorum.
No, there's no quorum.
There is no quorum. But
Oh, no.
that doesn't mean I cannot speak. And I'm going to speak. I have heard numerous comments from our residents from every neighborhood in the city. You're excused, Mr. Deere. Thank you. You're excused. You're excused. I have heard comments from every corner of our city, as the councilwoman likes to say, from the north, south, and east and west. And everybody, regardless of what candidate they supported, regardless of what candidate they thought may have won, everyone wants these ballots counted. I am thoroughly disappointed that 2 weeks later, we still don't have these ballots counted. I remember before the election, on April 21st, where our city clerk promised the council, promised the residents of the city to expeditiously count the ballots if there were no issues. Expeditiously count the ballots if there were no issues. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There haven't been any issues. The election occurred on what's that? That's fine. Doesn't need to be taped. The election occurred on June 2nd. On June 3rd, Mr. Deere was complimented except for the closing of the two most heavily voted precincts in the northern part of the city. The election went off without a hitch. And I say that not to minimize what happened in the northern part, but these ballots were expeditiously counted on June the 2nd. And by 10:30, all the ballots had been counted. Over 5,000 ballots were counted in a couple of hours. Literally a couple of hours. On June the 9th, after I wrote a letter to the County Register Recorder's Office official, Dean Logan, requesting that he expeditiously count and verify the signatures. And I also called him and left him a voicemail message on his cell phone. He immediately, expeditiously, I'm going to use that word because that was their city clerk's word, he expeditiously verified those signatures and turned them around and informed the city clerk as to which signatures were valid and which ones were not valid. And hence, the counting could have commenced pursuant to a 48-hour notice. But they didn't. For some inexplicable reason, those ballots continue to not be counted. So, on June the 12th, pursuant to my request, we had a special city council meeting, at which time the city council was going to consider the retention of another elections official to expeditiously count these ballots. And that notice was posted on the 11th early in the morning that there was going to be a special city council meeting. Then, and only then, did the city clerk post the 48-hour notice that he was going to count the ballots on Monday, yesterday. Over the weekend, and on Friday, at that special city council meeting, the city clerk, through his senior deputy city clerk, informed us on Friday that the 48-hour notice had been issued and posted and that the counting of the ballots would commence on Monday, yesterday. Over the weekend, our city attorney spoke with the city clerk and his attorney and was told that the city clerk would count the ballots on Monday. Then, yesterday, on Monday morning at about 8 a.m., our city attorney received ex parte notice from the city clerk's counsel informing us that he was going into court on an ex parte notice and he would not be counting the ballots on Monday. He then reissued a 48-hour notice for tomorrow. This was on Monday. Today, his attorney contacted our city attorney again and informed us that he was going to be going into court on an ex parte basis tomorrow morning. He cannot be at two places at one time. I am concerned as to why these ballots have not been counted.
I'll clarify it when he's finished.
I have worked for the county as a precinct worker. I have been invited as an election observer in international elections to observe their process to make sure that there are no shenanigans. I have fought in court here in California against other individuals who I feel were disenfranchising and not allowing the people's voice to be heard. And I will be damned if I'm going to allow that to happen here in my city.
Say it again. I'll be damned. We be damned.
For the life of me, I cannot understand why these ballots have not been counted. And all it does is feed the suspicion, the belief that there is something afoot. And that's not right. So, because of that, that is why a few moments ago, I went ahead and made the motion that Jawan Hilton, the one who is winning, the one who may win, be sworn in as the city council member. And to fill my vacant seat. To fill my vacant seat as was properly agendized. And as I believe it was properly second and properly voted upon while the three of us were present. If Mr. Jawan is watching, or if someone can call Mr. Jawan. Oh, he's here now. Mr. Hilton, would you please step forward so the city clerk can swear you in? Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Hilton. It's on. Go ahead. He doesn't control the mic.
With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, thank you for your vote of confidence, you and Councilwoman Holmes. With all due respect, I would ask the clerk that he would deputize my wife and let my wife give me my swearing in.
Mr. City Clerk? Mr. City Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Are you
Mr.
going
Mayor, I'm afraid you do not know the law. I'm going to state the law to you now.
Go ahead.
Statute of the State of California requires that in a 5-member body by statute, even if there are 2 vacancies, it requires 3 members. 3 members. And there's no, we're in a recess right now, so this is basically a town hall meeting. Excuse me.
Let him finish.
Mr. Mayor, could you ask the people in the audience to show some respect, some decency? This makes Carson, this makes the city of Carson a laughingstock because you have no respect for decorum. You have no respect for this mayor. You have no respect for the people of Carson. The majority of the people of Carson are not like this. And I want people to, it's a town hall meeting. Mr. Mayor, you're not in charge right now because it's a town hall meeting. We're in recess right now.
Mr. Deere.
We're in recess. So I'm going to answer the false accusations, the lies that this corrupt little Al Robles, who's the attorney for Al Robles of Southgate, yes, Southgate, Joanne, has brought corruption to the city of Carson. I will not stand for it. The majority of the people of Carson will not stand for it. I have all the evidence I need right here, and I will present it. The City Council of Carson on Tuesday, April 7th, Mr. Robles, 2015, unanimously passed a resolution that this City Council will have an election on June 2nd, followed by a council meeting Wednesday, June 3rd, Tuesday, June 16th, a regular meeting of the City Council, and on Tuesday, June 23rd, I'll give you the documentation so you have it. A special meeting for the City Council only at 6 o'clock p.m., Community Hall B, at the Congresswoman Juanita Milner McDonald Community Center at Carson to declare the results, install the newly elected council member. And it's here, Albert.
Thank you. Are you done?
Yes. We'll give you a copy. It's already been passed.
Thank you
on
very
June
much.
So
thank you.
And now you don't have a council meeting right now, so
Thank
you
you.
can't change
Thank you,
that.
Mr. Deere. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And I have a lot more information to give you if you're willing to listen. Well, I am really fed up with
you're excused.
the shenanigans. No, I'm not going to surrender the city to Darrell Sweeney to you or to your
Thank you.
officer who's controlling you over there to your right.
Here.
I'm not going to surrender Carson to the corruption of Vera the Evil DeWitt, who is your handler. And I'm just so sad that the city of Carson has digressed to heckling, catcalls, and I'll tell you, when you were in high school or college, if you ever read a book called Lord of the Flies, it's a very interesting psychological dilemma. And Vera DeWitt is one of the hecklers.
Mr. Deere.
Yes, leader of the group. And I'll tell you, there's
Mr.
no meeting. There's no meeting. You just got through saying there's no meeting.
Mr. Deere.
If I have to filibuster, I guess I'll filibuster.
Mr.
There's
Deere.
no city council meeting at this time. You
Mr.
have no
Deere.
quorum, and I will stand by the law, and I will sue you, and I will sue Lula Davis Home again, and I will win again in court, and you will waste the taxpayers' money because the law is the law. This is a nation and a city of laws, not a nation and city of despots and dictators. That
Thank you, Mr. Deere.
I can testify to because for 11 years, no corruption. Now we have corruption.
Thank you.
For 11 years, the district attorney of the County of Los Angeles, the attorney general of the state of California, not one time did they ask me a single question about any wrongdoing. The FBI that investigated Carson, no, I'm not the one that invited the FBI to Carson, although people say I did. I would be proud to say I would if necessary. But the FBI of Carson, coming to Carson, had a 3-year investigation. And during that 3-year investigation, they never asked me, Jim Deere, one single question. But they did ask questions of the corrupt officials. The corrupt officials have people in the audience tonight that will yell for them. The corrupt individuals have people in the audience that will snicker, will heckle. Thank you for winding down.
Could I have your attention,
You know
please?
that I'm talking.
We're
I'm talking to you
adjourned.
at this
We're
time.
going to take a 15-minute recess. We're going to swear in Mr. Jawan Hilton, and we'll reconvene when we have a quorum. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, let me know when you're ready. I'll walk you out. Does that mean the vote won't take place?
No, this is just a ceremony. Hi, how are you? I just need a little protection. These people are really I don't even know about people below. I'm gonna go right away. I'm gonna go right away. Say hello to somebody. I'll meet you downstairs.
Could I have everyone take their seat, please? We have a quorum. We're going to continue with the rest of the agenda. Joy, can you turn the lights on, please? We are reconvening the Carson City Council, Carson Successor Agency, and Carson Housing Authority. As we now have a quorum present.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Madam
If
City
I-
Attorney.
I just want to put something on the record. Everything happened really fast, and I feel like I need to advise you guys that there may be an argument that there may be an argument that arguably three affirmative votes were needed to make an appointment to the council seat. Government Code Section 36512 does not and I think that's the code section that the city clerk was referencing, does not state that you need the majority of the body of the council. So it could be interpreted that it's the majority of the active members of the council, or it could be interpreted the other way. In the past, when the city has made appointments by resolution, you have made it a practice to have 3 votes, and as the council knows, if you were passing a resolution, you would have needed 3 votes. You made the appointment without a resolution, so arguably 2 votes would have been sufficient because you're not expending any funds. However, I need you to know that there's an argument that the 3 votes were not sufficient, and I needed to put that on the record.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Since you're going to be doing research, I want to give you a case to look up. Hamilton versus Town of Los Gatos, 213 Calup 3rd, 1050. And its progeny dating back to 1938, where the courts have held that actions concerning collective bodies like ours, the City Council, that provide for majority by a quorum, that they can act by a majority of those present of that quorum, which is what we did. So again, Madam City Attorney, I just want to give you the site. It's Hamilton versus Town of Los Gatos, 213 Calap 3rd, 1050, 1989 case. Yes, can you please have her come back, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will look up that case.
So we're going to wait. Yes, 213 Calap 3rd, 1050. Hamilton versus Town of Los Gatos. All right. So we're going to continue.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
before we proceed, Madam City Attorney, I need you to clarify with your city clerk that just left with our whatever. This is not an election. She works for the city manager. And she needs to be back on this dais expeditiously.
And I believe Mr. Rambo has gone to have a conversation with Ms. Joyce.
Thank you. So with that, we're now going to go on to the consent calendar. Can you believe we still have consent calendar? Items 10 through 24. There was a request to continue item 14. By the request, I believe, was by Vintage Real Estate, the mall. They want to clarify. They're not, my understanding is that you're okay with the sharing agreement, you just want some language clarified in it, correct? We actually need to renegotiate the agreement. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, my understanding is that they no longer want to enter into the agreement, and they want their tenants to enter into an agreement with the city. So it's a completely new agreement they want to negotiate.
I don't see 466 on here. Where's the other one?
466 and 474.
Yes, 474 is item number 18.
So, Mr. Mayor, my office has not reviewed this agreement. I don't know who the staff person responsible for this, but I would ask that they continue it to the next council meeting so we have an opportunity to review this.
Okay, so we'll continue item 18 also. So does any council member wish to continue any other items?
What about the? I wanted to pull an item.
Or pull an item, yes, sorry. So 14 is going to be continued.
43.
And 18 is continued. And you want to pull 23?
Oh, I want to.
Okay.
Is Kelly Price here? No, she's not here, so I'll leave that one on. That was
Okay.
the CDS.
Okay. All right. So I move approval of the consent calendar with the exception of item 14 and 18 being continued. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Somebody in the audience? Mr. Hicks, I'm designating you to take notes that there was a motion made by me, seconded by the councilwoman, to approve the consent calendar with items 14 and 18 being continued. The balance of the item was approved unanimously. What's it? Okay. Oh, sorry. 2 yeses and 1 abstention. Mr. Jawan Hilton is abstaining.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes?
may I say something?
Yes.
These are our insurances for the year, and they're going to be expiring July 1st.
What the items that were pulled?
Workers' compensation,
Oh,
TPA.
What item are you talking about?
That's item 466. Yes. I'm showing 466.
Where is it? I don't even see it. So it's not under consent. So
18?
that's not under consent, Ms. McClellan.
18? Yeah, 18 was consent. We pulled it. Oh,
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to
okay.
Yes, they were looking at item 34, item 466.
Okay.
It's not under consent.
All right. So we're going to continue with the rest of the agenda. We have a number of public hearings, but we need to wait for our deputy city clerk to swear in the witnesses. So we're going to go to item number. What item? Oh, so that leaves item number 32. Item number 33. It's being continued, correct? Item 33 is being continued. Item 34. Is award of workers' compensation third-party administrator services for fiscal year 2015, 2016, 2016-17, and 2017-18. There was a request by one of the speakers to regarding this item. Is this the item you wanted to speak to, Gail? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes?
Sorry, on item number 33, could you please just clarify that the item is being continued to the first meeting in July 7th?
Yes. Without objection, item
Thank you.
33 is being continued to July 7th. Item number 34, concerning workers' comp.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that although we have had another workers' comp administrator for the last 7 years, the new TPA that we are recommending, it will save the city $50,000 in administrative fees over the next year. And we anticipate, because they have worked with other agencies, primarily government agencies and cities, that they will too be able to save us money in our claims handling over the next several years as well.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions, discussion? Is there a question?
The recommendations to go with the new carrier is what it is. Mrs. Director,
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if the council is thinking or entertaining awarding this 3-year contract, I would ask whoever makes the motion to make it contingent upon the city attorney reviewing, and because the recommendation by staff doesn't say that. I have not seen this contract.
Okay. Did you have a question,
I
Councilman?
had a question. Is it not possible to continue this item to the first meeting in July?
I would recommend that it be
And put 'em on a
acted
month to
upon
month?
before then, because the new contract would begin July 1st.
Okay, could we have a month-to-month until our city attorney has an opportunity, just a 30-day grace period until our city attorney has an opportunity to look at this?
I think it would be appropriate to have these the award based upon the attorney's review and approval of the contract.
Then I would recommend that whoever makes the motion to authorize the city attorney to negotiate and draft a 3-year contract for workers' compensation third-party administrator services to AdminSure for the period of July 1, 2015 through June 30th, 2018, with the option to extend the contract for an additional 2-year period in 1-year increments through June 30th, 2020. And if the city attorney approves the contract, then to authorize the mayor to execute such contract.
I so move. Is there a second?
Second.
No,
It's
for the
been
record,
moved and
Mr.
seconded.
Okay. Second by, motion by?
Yes.
Okay. Second by Davis Holmes? Okay. I just want to declare for the record, there is no city council meeting. Anyone here tonight who thinks there's a city council meeting going on right now, you are wrong. There is only 2 members present that are legally members of the city council. If you're a business person and you're here tonight, any business conducted on the agenda this evening is null and void. They have no quorum. The law has been broken tonight, and we will bring them to court again to follow the state law of the state of California. You cannot play games. This is a charade beyond belief, including the catcalls from the audience, including the hecklers from the audience.
Okay,
It's
thank you,
all
Mr.
part of
Dare.
a big game that they're playing tonight.
Thank you, Mr.
It's a
Dare.
psychological trick they're
Thank you.
playing on you. I like Juwan. Everyone likes him. He wants to be on the city council. He's way ahead in the votes. Why don't you just let the process go through? But no,
Thank you, Mr.
you're
Dare.
taking advantage of Juwan Hilton, and that's really not fair to him either.
Thank
To let
you.
him think he's a member of the city council tonight, and your wife and family, it's really unfair to you, Juwan.
Thank you, Mr.
There's
Dare.
no city council meeting going on at this time, and they're just playing you for a fool. If you think you're a council member right now, you're not, because it hasn't been finalized.
Well,
I told you that when I spoke with you. So I'm really sorry that Lula and Albert are doing this to you, because you look like you have the hat on that you shouldn't have on.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
it's
Dare.
really embarrassing for the city of Carson.
Mr.
But I just
Dare.
want to remind the city manager,
Dear, if
all
you
the staff
continue
members
to be
that
disruptive,
no
I will
items,
have you
not,
removed from
oh
the
really?
council chambers.
Try
Yes.
to remove an elected official, and you will have a lawsuit that you wouldn't believe.
Dear, you're being
You have a
disruptive.
lawsuit. I'm an
Okay.
elected official.
So
By
let us
statute,
conduct our business.
by statute of the state law,
Let us
am
conduct our
the elected
business.
city clerk of the city, and you cannot remove me from a council meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
He can
So-
have you sit somewhere else though.
There's a motion
Yes,
and
and
a
I
second.
Invalid and not true.
All those in favor? Aye.
For the record,
Aye.
there's no vote being taken because this is a
Opposed?
big joke. A big joke
An opposi-
played
Mr.
on the
Deere.
people of Carson, California.
Okay.
This meeting is totally illegal. People who are reasonable, people who are educated, and people who are not full of vitriol and hatred, like the catcallers and the hecklers in the audience, will understand that there's no council meeting going on at this time.
Thank you.
So that is for the record.
Thank you.
So I'm very apologetic to all the business people and anyone that has an agenda item that you're here for tonight that has not been taken up yet.
Thank you, Mr. Deere.
No
Say it
business
again.
can be
This is
conducted
the
this
fifth
evening.
Said it.
Anything that happens with this joke that's going on right
Thank
now
you.
is
Can you
null and
read it?
void, does not exist legally. It's just a big game they're playing, and they're pulling the wool over your eyes.
Thank you, Mr. Deere. All right.
You're welcome, and you're going to
So
be sorry.
With that, we're going on
because
to item.
You're breaking the
number-
law, and you're making a mockery out of
Thank
the
you,
law
Mr. Deere.
and a mockery out of the city of Carson.
Thank you.
You know,
So
I know
we're
Vera
going
DeWitt
on
controls
to-
you. We know that Albert Robles does not live in the city of Carson,
Going on to item
has not
number
lived in the
36.
city of Carson for many, many years.
Thank
So
you,
let's
Mr.
state
Deere.
that publicly as well. And there's a lot more information I know about your background, Albert, that will be revealed in due time. And if you think you'll survive it, you're wrong.
Thank
Because
you,
the
Mr.
people
Deere.
of Carson will throw you out as a crook.
Thank you, Mr. Deere.
You're welcome, and I guess you are asking for it. Because the people of Carson will not put up with this tomfoolery, this joke, this charade that's going on tonight.
Thank you.
Are you gonna take the minutes?
Item. Item number 36. Consider status report on the Regional Water Quality Control Board environmental investigation and Carson declaration of the existence of a local emergency within the carousel track.
No report.
No report. Item number 38
Yeah.
is the second reading of
Madam
ordinance
City
number-
Attorney, the city
dash-
manager, Cecil Rambo, threatened to fire one of my staff members today if she didn't do what he told her to come up here. Threatening an employee
Where's
with
the
being
knife?
fired is illegal. You might want to check the record on that one because that's an additional lawsuit that we brought against this foolish council. I am just so ashamed of you tonight, Albert and Lula. Jawan, you're not at fault. They're playing you tonight. But it's just really, really sad for Carson. So note that for the record as well, though there is no official record.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Deere. Item number 38 is ordinance number 15-1559, an ordinance of the City of Carson, California, adopting the Sepulveda and Panama Specific Plan number 13-15, General Plan Amendment number 95, or is that 90? Is that 95 or 96? I can't. 96-15 Zone Change Amendment number 173-15